Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gap. That's Delita. I'm Travis. It is Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
It's Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. If anybody gives a rat's patootie what's happening. Wow, that's a really short entrance they've got going on at this facility.
They might as well just dropped out of the ceiling.
Hey, it's another special one called Summer Blockbuster, huh?
Wow, and it's not even summer yet. That's even cooler.
Well, as long as they make it up into something else, I guess. Weirdos. Anyway, Sophie's in the chat, says hi, people.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, person.
Sophie.
Oh my god, not the Peacemaker crap.
They have a new bombshell in AEW or NXT. Her name is Balake. Balake Monroe.
Sophie says, after Jay lost, there were some mixed reactions from people.
Oh, yeah? Like, between the celebrating and the rejoicing?
Yeah, what kind of mixed reactions?
That WWE's finally maybe heading in the right direction? Maybe. Have to give it a...
The fact that they made that belt, that championship, so irrelevant that they moved it off of a so-called great champion they were trying to force in front of people's faces on a Monday night.
I'm just glad he got it right. He never gets anything right. Swerve's house!
Sophia says, I just realized I don't have Peacock anymore.
Oh, piss.
That sucks, butthole.
You need to get you some Peacock. And then dance like this. Ready, and go.
Did he just throw his hot coffee at somebody in the audience?
Probably.
That's kind of cool. Not very nice. That's kind of wrong.
He McDonald's them.
Yeah.
Look at that guy's mullet. Holy shit. I wonder if that's the same mullet from the 80s or if he had normal hair and then grew a mullet now.
With his bald head. Sophie says there are some people that hated Jay loss. They thought Jay would hold it until SummerSlam.
Yeah. But it's more about Sami Zayn now than Jay, I think. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Sami's going to win it.
Probably.
Which is worse,
but then,
by the way.
Who's Seth going to take it off of? Or what one is he going to go after?
Right. So...
The John Cena one?
Well, they did hint at that on Monday. Remember when he came out? But... there's so much that could happen. Goldberg could wrestle or interfere or do something in Saudi Arabia.
So,
Oh, never mind.
No. It's just the same thing Tony Khan does every time. Look at the beginning match of
the main event
show tonight. Is what should be what you would consider a main event. They're like one of their great guys that they signed, and then a former champion of AEW Championship.
And 18 people in the crowd just chanting, holy shit.
Yeah, because nobody else is going to.
But the main event will be something silly. And when I say silly, I mean silly. It'll be something stupid with Garcia or Wheeler Yuta.
Oh, yeah, definitely dumb.
Samoa Joe. Why is he sticking his hand out? It's gay.
Sophie's like, I called Jay was going to lose the championship on Money in the Bank, and Dee was like, yeah, sure. He didn't.
Yeah, no.
He didn't lose it at Money in the Bank, did he?
It was the weekend of, though, so good job, but still.
I don't really consider Monday part of the weekend. It's actually the start of the new week, so it doesn't matter.
Just give it to him and move forward.
Piccolo's in the chat. Hey, Piccolo's like, first match. And Sophie says, I was in a watch-along when after Jay lost, the people crashed out. Piccolo says, I don't want to get up to change the channel. Oh.
Oh, shoulder block. Oh, gosh.
Sophie says people thought Goldberg was going to help Jay win this past Monday. Uh-huh.
Huh, that would have been weird.
Why would he do that?
Well, to set up a match at Saudi Arabia with Gunther.
Oh. Piccolo says 4 hours. Woohoo. The best show. Oh, is it another 4-hour show? Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, we won't be here.
Not for 4 hours, I won't be here. Although I did watch Collision last week after it was over.
Did you?
Yeah, I watched that girl.
Ew. Thekla?
Thekla. Yeah, she's actually pretty good. Believe it or
Sounds
not.
like somebody has a lisp.
Thekla.
They're like, Thekla. Oh, Thekla.
It's like
Thekla.
It's like Firth.
Like for...
Firth, Idaho. It's next to Theckin. Thekla.
Thekla. Oh, Thekla.
Firth, Theckin.
People
Thekla.
is like the new Chica Thekla. What you think about her? Her name is stupid.
I was actually pretty impressed, to be honest. I don't know who she was wrestling. That girl looked pretty good too. Her opponent, and they're like, "Oh, she's had a successful AEW career." I'm like, do you not watch AEW? Because I watch it, and I've never seen her before, but she had a successful AEW career.
Huh.
No idea who she was.
Is she not on AEW anymore?
Ooh,
Thekla.
she just signed. She's the Spider Lady.
Okay. So how can she have...
A match against a lady that looked good too, and they said that she was good in AEW. She had a successful career, and I'm like, do they watch AEW? Because I watch every episode of
Dynamite.
And guess what? I've never seen this girl before. Although I will tell you this, I don't remember when the boss showed up that she wrestled the girl in WWE with the butt that everybody likes.
Oh.
Valcor. Stephanie Valcor.
Oh, her.
She wrestled on here.
Really?
Yeah, we watched it. On Dynamite, she wrestled the boss. Sasha.
Lies.
Sasha beat her.
Oh, lies.
And we watched it.
I don't think so.
I just didn't remember it. And then I'm like, oh yeah, she was on there. For
So-
like one match.
Sophie says, I meant to say at Money in the Bank that Jay was going to lose on Raw.
Yes. Well, I understood what you said, and that's fine.
Uh-huh.
We get it.
Pickle says, go on, Sophie, talk about Brian Wilson.
Ooh, the Beach Boy.
Sophie, maybe. Sophie says Jay held the championship 51 days while he held the IC championship for 28. Piccolo says her and Queen Amidala have a match tonight.
Oh. On Collision or on Dynamite? Did anybody see Balake? In NXT? Balake's in NXT.
That's Mariah May for all the other people.
Her
that
name is
don't
Balake.
know who she was somewhere else.
Balake Monroe. They call her Balake Monroe.
Anyways, Vindicator's in the chat. Hey, Vince says, hey, Gabville, starting off hot with a pay-per-view main event quality match.
I know. What is this?
So all they can do is go downhill from here. Wow, I'm so glad they're going to do 2 hours of shit.
4.
Well, I don't care about the last 2 hours. They mean nothing to me.
They mean everything.
No.
There's nothing that it doesn't mean.
I will literally leave the house if I have to.
No, can't.
Yes, I can, actually. I have the ability.
Won't be able to.
Okay.
You're chained up.
Uh-huh. Rebecca Chatless is in the chat. Hey, Rebecca says, hey, yo, you don't have to answer this.
Ooh, I want to answer.
Favorite memory of your dad?
Just hunting, camping, fishing. This Father's Day.
Sophie says, now both world champions are heels. It will be interesting who Seth cashes in on since he is also a heel. And Pico says, and Tay Mello is back in the ring with Anna Jay. Sad about our girl Harley on a break. I know, right?
Yeah, you know, what I think is going to happen there is something at Saudi Arabia. And either Gunther gets hurt or something. And then somebody beats him. Maybe Sami Zayn beats him. I don't know. I know he has a match already. Possibly has a match in Saudi Arabia. Because that's when that cup's King of the Ring.
Oh, right.
That's going to be crowned in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like something could happen there. Even Goldberg could win it. And Seth could cash in on Goldberg. And then that way Goldberg goes out as the champion, sort of. It's his last match, hypothetically.
Sophie says the New Day's reaction to Jay losing was perfect. It seems like it is setting up the Usos to feud with the New Day.
Let's hope so. I heard somebody say that Jay needs a big title run. And I said, you're absolutely correct with his brother.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay if the Usos have the title for 2 years. I don't care. That's fine. They don't use the titles anyways. They might as well fucking use them on Raw.
Picola says, why is her name Balake again?
Again, huh?
I didn't know she went by it before.
What was she before?
Picola says, yeah, the Late Show will have some outrunners versus some weirdos, I bet. And Sophie says, with Gunther as champion again, it opens the door of fresh matches, which is a lot compared to if Jay was still champion. Sophie says, Kofi mentioned that when he was champion, he held it for 6 months, not 6 weeks. Vindicator's like, yeah, I don't need the unfortunate reminder of that dumb company butchering my Boo Mariah's identity. But it's what they do, so I will continue supporting her regardless. Vindicator, let's put it in perspective of smartness here. If Mariah May, or Mariah, is her actual real name, we do not want her using it so that they can just patent it and then she wouldn't have her real name anymore, right? Wouldn't you want her to be able to go back to utilizing Mariah May at a later date if she had to or wanted to somewhere else? Kind of makes a lot more sense when you look at it in the light of, intelligence instead of just, oh, that stupid company, they did this, blah, blah, blah.
First of all, they can't patent a name, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, but
she
probably doesn't want to be known as Mariah May here.
Right, because they're not going to allow that. And that was a Nick Khan, Vince McMahon decision, and Nick Khan's still in charge. And so he's not going to allow people to use their independent name unless they're a star.
She's not quite a star yet.
Right, I'm talking like Will Ospreay or...
I know what you're saying.
Kenny Omega.
Cody Rhodes, he was Cody Rhodes before. He's always been Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. When he first left, Vince kept the last name because he owned the Rhodes name.
Mm.
And so he was just Cody. But his wife was Cody, or was Brandy Rhodes. So they would put them together and say Cody and Brandy Rhodes.
Yeah.
The clever workaround.
It's very clever. Piccolo says the last time these two faced, Ospreay was still under the Callis regime and he refused to use the screwdriver on Swerve.
Yeah.
Sophie says I had a feeling that Jay was going to lose when they first announced the Gunther match. And Vindicator says Cola, she apparently chose Blockade to honor one of her nieces. Monroe, I guess, is to honor Marilyn Monroe. Still sounds ridiculous, though.
It does, and I don't like it. I don't like the Monroe part. And if anything, it would be like, is it a jab at Tony? And not in a bad way, like a tribute, Tony Storm, because they're friends.
Oh.
The Marilyn Monroe, that's who she is, her character. And
maybe? I don't know. That sounds weird. Sophie says, I don't understand why people thought Jay was going to hold the championship till SummerSlam. I
didn't. I don't think I ever said that. Maybe I might have after WrestleMania or something.
I don't really care.
He doesn't have it. And I get it. I get why they did what they did. Look, he was super popular, right? And you own $1 billion business. And you want the crowd to go crazy and chant those 4 words so you can sell stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to be an iconic moment. So you put the title on him at the biggest show in the world. Besides the Super Bowl, right? So then the whole crowd chants it. It's the end of the show. You got the bandwagon crap, right?
Right.
Then they go, okay, that's as far as he can take it. He's not good. It's just we wanted the viral yeeting. And then you take it off of him. They did it right. It's just, I didn't like it because it's embarrassing for the sport to basically sell your soul like that. Vince would have never put the world title on that dude.
No matter if it was yeeting or not.
I love that. I was reading the posts from CM Punk like the most hypocritical dude in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He went off on the Miz. He's like, I hope you have fun over there, with the bloody dick of the Arabians or whatever, like all sorts of shit to go into Saudi Arabia.
Like recently he was saying it, or was this like a long time ago?
Probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Okay.
The blood money stuff. Remember they called it blood money? Fucking blood money, the blood money.
That would be probably diamonds in Africa more so than oil in Saudi Arabia.
It's not the oil. It's the crowned prince had somebody executed that was a reporter because they reported something.
Were they a reporter in that country?
No.
Okay.
And anyways, obviously he didn't know anything about it. That's why I went. Did he? Did he not? Nothing happens without his approval.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to allow his people to behead somebody without his approval. And if they did it and he didn't know about it, they would all be dead. Like, and they're not going to do that. And that's kind of the common sense look at it. But anyways, that's where the blood money thing comes from. Is the reporter the Western reporter that got executed.
Supposedly.
Well, the reporter died. I mean, it's got decapitated. I don't know anything about it. I actually never learned about it or looked it up or anything.
Huh.
But that's where the blood money thing came from. And then WWE signs a contract with them. And that's why everybody was boycotting it. Remember the whole boycotting thing? Nobody wanted to go to Saudi Arabia. All
the people? Like the wrestlers themselves?
Yeah. Remember the first, 5 years ago? Nobody wanted to go.
I don't
That's
remember
what
it.
that was about.
Oh.
Was the blood money thing. And that's when CM Punk had to be vocal. And, you can't make this shit up. And now he's going to wrestle John Cena in Saudi Arabia for the world. Was it John Cena? Yeah. John Cena for the world championship. You couldn't be a bigger hypocrite. If you tried.
Well, he's always been one.
Well, I'm just saying, you couldn't. You can't make that shit up.
Every portion of his quote unquote wrestling career has been hypocritical. Mm-hmm. From the starting of it to now. It's all hypocritical.
I know one thing about him that's hypocritical, and it's this, from my knowledge. And that is the height of it. Yeah, there's nothing bigger than saying that you would never go to a country because of your politics and your beliefs, and your belief is so strong, to going to that country with a fucking corporation so you can get your name on a plate on the side of a belt that you're probably going to lose anyways. It does make you wonder if Triple H didn't tell him. It was John, tell him when you're out there. Because then, because his face was he wasn't yeah, let's do it. It was kind of huh. What the fuck?
Maybe.
Son of a bitches. I'd have to see how he reacted when he got to the back.
Right, but they wouldn't show that. No. Unless somebody in the back took pictures of it and put it on the internet.
Right. There's a little pad on there. You okay?
Yep, fine. Piccolo says, nice. And Sophie said, I don't understand why some people could come with their names and some people could change their names in the WWE. Piccolo says AJ has never changed his name, neither has Samoa Joe. Sophie says people think they made Jay lose the belt because the fans felt they brought back R-Truth. Ethan Page came in as Ethan Page. And Piccolo said, so I have picture-in-picture. Vindicator retracted his message. Sophie says, I thought Jay was going to lose it at the Night of Champions, not a few weeks before it, and I thought Seth was going to cash in on him. And Piccolo says, counter cutter, that's my guy, but he really is digging a hole with his past comments. Go figure. Sophie says with CM Punk facing John Cena in Saudi Arabia, it will be interesting who will be John Cena's final opponent on... Did you mean to do that?
Mm.
Oh. Final opponent on his retirement tour. Vindicator says Ron Killings has no problem using his name again. Walter is in the chat, says hi Travis, hi Daphne, AEW Dynamite. Piccolo says no, it won't. It's Super Cena BS all over again. What a snooze fest this run has been. And Sophie says, I see online that they want Ron Killings, aka R-Truth, to beat John Cena for the championship.
Oh my god.
Walter says, okay, at 9 p.m. I'm going. Be here Friday for SmackDown. Piccolo says Logan Paul, his back was a bit sore carrying Chyna on the main event. Sophie says there are only a handful of talent that keep their names after they move to a different promotion. Piccolo's like, how, oh. And Sophie says, remember, CM Punk did tell Cena that he wanted to wrestle him in one of his final dates on his retirement tour.
Yep, it worked out for
Piccolo's like, Sammy went there, didn't he? Yeah, he finally went, like,
He's
year,
won it the last few times.
The last couple of times
he
he's
comes out
gone.
and he talks to him in his native tongue and everything.
Sophie says CM Punk would eventually have to work a Saudi Arabia show since it's hosting the Rumble next year, and Mania will be there at some point. And Piccolo says, ouch, Ospreay bleeding underneath his wrist cast. Is he bleeding from underneath his wrist cast, or is it just that he's had to wipe his face so much that it's bled through?
Right.
Because he was bleeding from his face, his nose or something.
He's got a face.
But I haven't really been looking at him or paying that much attention. So, cool.
Yeah, so cool. What channel is the game on? TBS, TNT, Fox, ESPN?
There's a show, game on tonight.
Yeah, it's the finals.
Mm.
It's game 3. It's tied 1-1. Anybody answering?
No. They're not
I don't
answering.
even know where to start to look. NBA playoffs. No. It did not work.
ABC.
ABC. Actually, I can get ABC. It's just going here. So it's still on ESPN. I guess it's not till next year. Disney should sell ESPN. Don't you think?
Probably. Let's see. Sophie said for the first few Saudi Arabia shows, guys. Sophie said for the first Saudi Arabia show, guys like Owens, Zayn, and many others didn't do the Saudi Arabia shows. Piccolo says, oh, that's where it came from, not his vagina. Piccolo says Discovery Channel, local ABC. Sophie says, I meant to say the first Saudi Arabia shows, guys like Zayn, Owens, and many others didn't do them. And Piccolo says, just seen the worst commissioner, spineless bro, Adam Silver. Not spineless.
Why? Because his show's so terrible?
Not the spinelessness.
What's he spineless about, other than the actual games suck? What I'd like to see him do is just make a maximum of 10 3-pointers per game. That's it. You can just have 10. And I don't mean made shots, I mean attempts. I think it would change the game and make it more exciting.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to save some of those. Because in the fourth quarter, with just a few minutes left, sometimes you need 3-pointers.
Mm-hmm.
To get back into it.
Piccolo says, put some damn effort into your finals and maybe you'll get some ratings. Sophie says, it's funny, CM Punk worked Mania. Didn't he say something about that when he was in AEW?
About never working Mania?
Yeah.
Damn. There is a sea of yellow.
It's just yellow people everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I really like my yellow shirts.
That one girl's like...
But this is Indiana, is the shirts, they say.
Mm-hmm. The one girl, she's a blonde girl with big boobs. She's sitting in the back somewhere, and she wore her own yellow shirt because she didn't want to wear a baggy one.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's my guess. Guy has black eye.
Well, maybe he shouldn't talk to his woman like that.
She beat his ass.
Probably. Sophie says, I wasn't mad when Jey Uso lost, unlike many others.
Who would get mad at that? That's like, it's good for the sport. People hate wrestling now.
Yes.
They're like, I hate wrestling. I want John Cena to ruin it. Remember? Because John Cena said he's trying to ruin it. Oh my god.
Pico says, yeah, no reason to watch this game. And Sophie says, didn't CM Punk say something to MJF about, like, you could go on the buy 3, get 1 type of thing? I don't understand their shirts.
I don't either.
But this is Indiana. What does that even mean?
It's probably something out of a movie. But this is Indiana. Like, why are we here?
Well, we know that part. Doesn't make
Do you think
sense
Axel's
why they're
there? With his brother and his dad?
No.
Hey, haven't seen Jefferson there for a while. Far left.
The tall man?
Mm-hmm. Last time I saw him, he was actually playing.
Oh, wow. That was 20,000 years ago.
Yeah, he played for the...
He's like, look at my giant ring I have.
New Jersey
I wore
Nets.
it just for you guys.
I don't know what team he won a championship with.
Look at that thing. It looks ridiculous.
He should have left that at home, but...
That's fucking dumb as fuck.
Jordan. This guy's the MVP.
Pico says, for a E-shill, why are you paying attention to AEW promos?
Nobody pays attention to those. Uh-oh. He's got him in a triangle. What's your thoughts on carpet? Just leave the one that's in there. Maybe put a throw rug in there or something. In the middle. Or not care about it all.
Like, as in, why would we put a throw rug in there? Like, you mean take it out and put a throw rug?
No.
Oh.
Just throw a rug in there. Just for diversity.
I think it would just make it harder to move things around if you had a rug on top of the carpet.
Right. I mean, I'll get things where they go and then throw a rug in the middle.
Right. But
Okay, Mike.
I don't know.
Because I don't want to sit there and just wait. Because like you said, we have like 2 weeks. Although we could do stuff upstairs.
Right.
Let's take one of these out there.
Yeah.
Just line us up. Very, very painful. Swerve! Sorry, Swerve's house.
Why have such old people doing it? That's so weird.
Okay, well, that woman, I don't like women doing this stuff, but if you had to listen to a woman do this stuff, you would want her doing it. Her voice is very nice.
Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying that she's
They're
old.
old.
They're
Well,
just
so is
older
the guy,
people,
too.
so it's like, that's why I said, why do they have old people doing
Well, they've
it?
just been doing it for 20 years. And,
That's all. Nothing about anything. I don't care. It's a woman. I'm just like, why do they have old people doing it? It's just weird to me, but whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, I remember when she first started doing it, and I was like, oh, she's actually pretty good. Like, immediately, like the first game I listened to. Where there's some girls that are terrible, like the one in Major League Baseball. She was a former softball player.
Sophie says we just got hit with heavy rain and thunder just now. And
Yeah.
Chris is in the chat. It says, yeah, more garbage.
That was over us just, what, a couple hours ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You guys would be getting it now. Pickle is like Styles Clash. Sophie says your thoughts on what Triple H said after the pay-per-view on Saturday. Well, since I don't know what he said, don't have thoughts. Piccolo says, top of the head much? And Chris says, Bloque Monroe, everyone.
Bloque Monroe.
Sophie says, I also see online that people thought Gunther first reign was boring. Piccolo says 2
Happens.
5/8. Chris says, I'm so happy Gunther is champion again.
Yes.
Sophie says Triple H said that the R-Truth thing was part of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Piccolo
Bullshit.
says, well, maybe there's a draw. Is this the new 60-minute Kenny versus Danielson?
Yeah, right.
I have no idea, but it's dumb.
Hey, if they want to go a full hour, I'm down. Fuck it. Let them go.
Chris says, but you know, that means Goldberg coming for Gunther title and Seth will cash in at Saturday night's main event in Atlanta.
When's that? When is that?
I don't know, Saturday night in Atlanta.
This Saturday?
I have no idea. He just says, and at Saturday night's main event. I don't know when it is. Sophie says Jay was involved in so many feuds, we knew that would bite him in the butt at some point. And people's like, 20 more minutes of near falls. It's true.
First episode is May 11th, 1985. Some good shit. What month are we in? It's not May, right?
This is June. We're past May. So it'd have to be after. It'd have to be whatever the next one is. Sophie says, why does Goldberg need to get a championship every time he comes back? He doesn't.
That's
Maybe
what legends...
he just shouldn't come back at all.
That's what legends do. They draw. I guarantee whatever episode Goldberg's on will have close to 500 to 1 million more people watching it. Guaranteed. He's a real draw, like The Rock. Hulk Hogan.
Vindicator says, kind of crazy that a regular singles match has gone nearly 30 minutes, even with the caliber of these two. I think it does feel a little forced if it happens too often, but the sickos seem to enjoy it. I don't know.
Wasn't me.
I feel like it's all stupid right now. Sophie says, with Gunther as champion, there's a possibility we could see Cena versus Gunther if Crown Jewel is champion versus champion. Rebecca says this match feels like they say on SpongeBob 2 hours later. Piccolo says, sock face. What are we watching here, stupid face? I don't know, dumbass. Flip Cup Nationals.
Boom.
Right? Like dummy. Robbie's now in the chat and says, what up, Wednesday Night Frauds? Time for Dynamite. He missed the opportunity to put it as die, as in D-I-E. Die. Chris says in ROH, I guess they are bringing in CMLL talent, like how WWE with AAA, but I saw that Thunder Rosa was teaming with that Persephone Luchador I was talking about. She is so hot. Sophie says it's upcoming Raw. Goldberg is rumored to show up. Chris says that she speaks perfectly good English, so I hope she comes to WWE.
Possible.
Sophie says Goldberg did kill Bray Wyatt in Saudi Arabia and also Kevin Owens. They set up Nikki Bella feud for Evolution with Liv Morgan.
So the next one's not till July 12th.
So they went 30 minutes and now they're done.
Oh, did the bell ring?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They went to a time limit draw. Somebody's going to add 5 more minutes. That's what they usually do.
People's like, whose house? Obviously the sickos. Dude. And the guy's like, well, looks like overtime or a rematch at a pay-per-view, LOL. And Robbie says Liv Morgan wasn't messing about wintering on Nikki Bella. And Sophie says Saturday night's main event is in July 12th.
Yeah. I looked it up. That's after Clash of the Champions, though.
Piccolo says it happened. Told ya.
The draw? Or the overtime? Because overtime's probably going to happen.
Oh, Jesus. Sophie's like, Evolution is on July 13th. And Chris says, Shotzi on Ariel Hawani show and just now posted a YouTube video trolling Matt Cardona. Not Matt Cardona.
Oh, Matt.
Oh, no, you guys are so messed up.
Zack Ryder. He's the easy rider dreaming of Winona. I feel like there's not very many fans in that building. Is that really their home building?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's like fucking like 12 rows. Could have more people. No, it's like a high school gym.
It is. And if it's not, I'll be surprised. But it looks like a high school gym to me.
The NBA Finals.
Not the finals.
It's the finals countdown. That's the guy that was in wrestling.
Yeah, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Halliburton. Halitosis.
Yeah. Tyler.
Halitosis.
Halitosis.
Tyler Halitosis. Let's see. Sophie said that Shotzi is facing Matt Cardona in a singles match at an indie show. They announced that today.
Oh, Jesus.
Piccola says we're going to finish it at Fall Pumpkin Patch Festival at Sicko's Carving Pumpkins edition. Nice. Pumpkin carving edition of pumpkins.
Uh-oh. It's a beat down. Beat his ass! Nicholas and Matthew. Sorry, Miss Jackson, but they are for real. Oh! Knees to the cranium. Hey, there's Reggie Miller. He's the one that invented this. That Halliburton did after they beat New York.
Oh, because of that guy?
Mm-hmm. It's Reggie. Played at UNLV. Question for Piccola or anybody else that wants to answer it. If there was an all-time college team, who would win?
Oh no, not the handcuffs.
Would
from
it
the mat,
be
guys.
North Carolina,
These weirdos.
Duke, or UNLV? Who do you got? All-time college team.
Ooh.
The best of the best. What team do you think it would?
I have no idea. I don't know anybody. Pico will have to answer it for you. Pico says, be there, be square, Sacco Facio. And Sophie said, our truth didn't mention what happened at Money in the Bank. John Cena kind of did.
What's in the bag? They got him chained up.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to rip out his teeth or something.
Britt Baker's there?
Picola says, go on.
Uh-oh, look. Their shoes.
Golfing shoes?
Super kicks.
That's not how they're sold. Whatever, dude. I've seen shoes like that.
Golf shoes?
Yeah. I mean, come on.
They don't, that I'm aware of, allow metal cleated golfing shoes anymore. I grew up wearing them, but then we switched over.
Did they have all of their things come out of it while they're doing that? I don't think they're going to do anything. They're all basically coming out.
Oh, fuck! William jumped in front of it. He ate it. Billy Offspray just got super
Oh no, his face. It'll never be the same. Sophie says Liv Morgan is the women's tag team champion and she's entering a feud with Liv Morgan. People are predicting we could be seeing the Bella Twins reunion. The WWE should get rid of the women's tag team championship. They don't put any effort into it.
True.
Robbie's,
And Brie Bella's not coming back.
Robbie says left in a heap in the ring. Picola says I may throw in UCLA, but out of the three you said, North Carolina. Take your shirt off. Wave it around like a helicopter.
North Carolina, come on, raise up. Take your shirt off. Dude, you would have to go with UCLA. You're taking North Carolina just because of the song? Is that what he said, basically?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they had Michael Jordan. Like, Jordan went there. But in college, was he... And we're going by their college play, not their pro play. Obviously, he's the greatest ever, but was he the greatest college player of all time? No. That was Lou Alcindor. Lou Alcindor Bill Walton, Reggie Miller. Who else went there that's really good? Byron Davis, I think, went there. There's a few others. Who's the big white, red-headed guy? Played for the Jazz in the 90s.
I have no idea. I don't know any of these people.
His name was Mark something. Anyways, that team was stacked. Didn't they win like 4 national championships in a row? I feel like I'm just talking to myself.
I don't know anything about basketball.
You don't know who Lou Alcindor is?
I don't know who that is. I don't know any of the stupid teams in college. I don't know their names. I don't follow the NBA. Ugh, barf, no thank you. It's bad enough you've got stupid crap on here now with halitosis people.
He's on the other team.
Doesn't matter. He's still out there. Halitosis.
He's a point guard.
Good for him. Piccolo's trying to have this conversation with you, but it takes a minute. He's got to listen to you, and then he has to wait until it comes up, and then he has to type it.
Yeah, I get it.
Jeez Louise, man.
Lou Alcindor is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was in Airplane.
Well, I'm glad that you said his other name, because at least then I might know who you're talking about.
But his name was Lou Alcindor in college.
I don't know who that is! Once again!
Ouch.
Jesus, man.
By the way, Jordan was really good. But James Worthy was really good. North Carolina's stacked, by the way. I'm not taking anything away from them. And Duke was really good as well. Christian Leitner by himself. No, just kidding.
Piccolo says Osprey like a stuck pig. Robbie's like, stop with the BS, Sophie. And Vindicator says, well, I guess Will and Swerve will team up first before that rematch, LOL.
So Mystico's returning, but we've never seen him before. But now he's coming back.
Yes.
Nice.
Robbie says, D, look at the guy. He's fucked. They did a number on him tonight. Sophie says they got rid of the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship. Why can't they get rid of the main roster Tag Team Championship? They also don't have a female tag team division.
They have to treat the women equally.
Vindicator says, got a feeling because of the name of this show, Tony Storm might be in the main event. Sophie says, your fave guy Hermie is rumored to be back soon.
No.
And Robbie says, stop, Sophie, you're hurting my head. And Piccolo says, yeah, Mike did have James Worthy, then later Vince Carter and Tyler Hansbrough.
There was a lot of good players that went through there.
Sophie says a former MTV VJ died today. Piccolo says Anade, something. She had stage 4 breast cancer. She was 52.
Oh, 52. Was she...
Some MTV.
Was she the
video.
little girl in the Bill Cosby show? Is it called the Bill Cosby show?
I don't know. Was she a former MTV VJ?
Yeah, but she was the youngest girl in
I don't know her name.
the Cosby show.
Sophie said, and some actor also died. I forget the show he was in. Piccolo says that was Kareem's Christian name before he went Muslim.
Yeah.
Robbie says this guy getting interviewed with a belt, he's had some rememberable matches. Robbie says, also, Travis, you looking forward to Evolution?
Sure. It's a bunch of women. As long as they book it right. I mean, do I want to watch it? Not necessarily. I'd watch it anyway, so. Will Delita be watching it? Probably not.
I will not. I will not watch it. Not even a little bit. I refuse.
She hates women.
I refuse to watch it. Jacob Jean is in the chat. Hey, Jacob says, yo. Piccolo says, Anade Lewis was her name. Anada Lewis. Sophie says she worked with Carson Daly on Total Request Live. Robbie,
Well, I watched every episode of those.
Robbie says Liv Morgan has to win versus Nikki Bella.
But I do not remember her. She looks familiar. That's too bad. I hate to see people die, especially young people.
From freaking stage 4 breast cancer. The shit that they should already have cured.
You can blame AIDS on that one. Blame the old AIDS. That's where all the money went.
All right. Full-blown commercial break for us.
Yeah, I think she was on the Cosby Show.
Oh no, he's
like
been rolled out
permanently. Just she was on there. That's how I knew her. Ouch. Oh, here he is. He's back. Don't remember him being here in the first place.
It's because the commander guy is down because the Hurt People broke him.
Commander Aziz?
MJF was like, "You're broken." He's like their leader now. It's creepy and weird. I don't like it.
He looks like he should be in WWE.
It's a lot of sock face happening. Anyways, Robbie says any matches we know the women are tidy. Piccolo says Sophie was all about TRL posters of Backstreet Boys and Stink and Ricky Martin. Jacob says I have a wrestling show Saturday. Well, good luck with your wrestling show.
Hell yeah.
Sophie says if Vince was still around, R-Truth wouldn't have gotten released or he wouldn't listen to the fans. How did you know, Piccolo? Funny enough, I do have a Backstreet Boys poster.
Yeah, Vince would care less with the fans. He tells the fans what they want, and then they realize that that's exactly what they wanted.
Piccolo says, I had Rough Riders and Wu-Tang. And Ravi says, with her mate Carson Daly.
I had the Barbie twins. Both of their posters. I'm trying to think if I ever had anybody else. Oh, and Muhammad Ali. I had a Muhammad Ali poster. I never had the Magic Johnson one with Larry Bird. Should have probably tried to get it. Or the Michael Jordan one that went up on the wall that way.
Piccolo says, Sophie. And Ravi's like, Sophie wanted it that way. Sophie says Netflix ordered a new wrestling drama called Tuesday Night Titans. They announced that today. And Piccolo says, I have to admit I went through a pop phase. Totally wanted to nail Christina Aguilera. She was dirty.
Yeah, well, it depends on what age of Christina Aguilera. But yeah, she got pretty dirty there.
Sophie says there are people that complain that there is too much wrestling in a week. Sophie says I also like Christina and Britney Spears. Robbie says, Sophie, did they or you making it up? Sophie's like, I was never a big Ricky Martin fan. Robbie says, so no good matches on Evolution? I thought not.
I definitely didn't like Ricky Martin. I'd listen to the Backstreet Boys and that other group every once in a while because they had a couple good songs.
I don't even know what matches are on Evolution. Have they even really started making any besides maybe that one that they tried last night or whatever the fuck it was? Yeah, that dumb bitch. Piccolo says this is definitely a snack break match. If I can think.
It's complete nobody against another nobody.
It's a good thing that they're doing this.
This is the shit that should be on Ring of Honor or like just a Dark or anything, like an internet show.
Sophie says, did you see Backstreet Boys and Rascal Flatts perform together a while ago? No.
Sure didn't. Rascal Flatts. I haven't heard that name Rascal Flats. How many steps you gonna take there, homie? He's like, I'm just gonna take around 14.
Oh, look, I threw the ball, then I got
Oh,
a
and then they
foul.
call it foul.
Oh,
Fucking
look, I could
NBA
totally
is
throw
so
it myself.
soft now.
It's lame. Well, they have to be with those little stick figures out there.
Yeah, the athletes used to look like athletes.
Now they just... Oh, look at that crap.
I know, I saw.
That was the lamest shit ever. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. And that's why I can't watch that crap either. Robbie says Becky versus Bailey. Sophie says there is going to be an NXT Women's Championship for Evolution. They announced that last night.
Why wouldn't there be?
Okay.
There is not enough women on the roster to fill up.
Sophie
The
says,
card.
funny enough, I like J-Lo when she was a singer, not an actress. Robbie says, Ring of Honor, who watches that?
Exactly. The same people would be watching this shit. And then somebody else from the back came out that we don't know. Which makes it even better. Yeah, I didn't like J-Lo as a singer. I will be 100% truthful on that. But she did have that butt. So it did keep you interested when you were in high school. So did Shakira. Shakira would keep you interested. Even though I don't know any of her songs except for Forever, Forever, I don't know what she says. I just know that's what it sounds like. I was trying to think of a J-Lo song and I can't think of one. But I mean, obviously I've known. And then there was a girl named Jewel. Remember Jewel?
What? That girl that has weird teeth? Just kidding.
I liked her. She married a bull rider.
Interesting and weird. Sophie's like, only 8 people watch Ring of Honor, and people's like, yeah, it's too much ROH or TNA's overload. Sophie's like, you guys get more viewers than Ring of Honor and AEW combined.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know about AEW, but definitely ROH.
No, yeah. No.
Robbie says, did you hear about the Chinese couple that had a baby early?
Oh, God.
They named it Suddenly. Sophie says Beyonce is okay. She is another one I'm not a big fan of.
Oh, no, I wouldn't.
The song you were singing was Shakira.
Yeah. Shakira.
Shakira, Shakira.
And she would just shake her hips. Who else was a popular girl right there at that time? Natalie Imbruglia.
Imbruglia.
Sure. I don't know who she is. I mean, I know who she is, but I don't know her song. What was that other one with the glasses?
What about...
You say I only wanna... You say...
She was in a movie.
Really?
Kevin whatever. She was God. She was in Dogma as God.
Alanis Morissette?
Yeah, her.
I
She was
forgot
during
about
that
her.
time.
Isn't it
Enya.
ironic, don't you think?
You had Enya. She
Yeah,
was
but I
during
don't-
that time.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't care. You wanted names of ones that were during that time.
I know you're gonna make bands.
And I'm trying to give you names
want-
of people.
I want-
Cranberries.
I want women, not groups.
Alanis Morissette was just a woman. Enya was just a woman. That's their names. They were the main singers and the only
Her
person
name
of
is
the band.
Enya. That's not
Yes.
the band's name.
No, her.
I didn't
She's
know. I didn't
Enya.
know. I didn't know. I thought it was a band.
No, Pink.
She wasn't that. She came later. Christina, Brittany. Goo Goo Dolls.
Pickle says Beyonce was fun early 2000s before the Illuminati happened.
Well, when she was Sweet Destiny or whatever. I can't remember their group name, but she had the other two women with her. Child. Destiny's Child.
Robbie says, hello, D, you cracked a smile on my joke, lol.
Shit's funny.
Sophie says, I like Bruno Mars. He has some good hits. About Rihanna, I also like Usher. And Picola says, I will kick you straight in the Jimmy. Alanis for real makes my ears bleed.
I will tell you the honest truth about Rihanna. I've heard 2 of her songs. One of them is the Sticks and Stones, Rocks and Whips and Chains, whatever. And the other one, I looked for like months. Okay, probably hours, but still months of my life. And what it was is it was her, but they slowed it down. And it's 10 times better than her version. And it's just slowed down. I think they call it reverb or something. Badass song. Probably one of the baddest songs I've ever heard. I couldn't find it. Because I'm like, well, it can't be Rihanna. So I just kept looking and looking and looking. But she's the only one that ever did it. Huh. But then I found out that they just slowed it down.
Yeah. Remember that horse?
Yeah. With no name.
Her name's Letty.
Felt good to get out of the rain. Oh, there's one. How much she have?
Just one.
What?
Look how big he is.
Right.
Just one baby. Look how tiny she was.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. Look how big he is compared to her.
Mm-hmm.
He's ginormous. They said he's 11 hands already. That's a big baby.
I mean, shit, some horses are only 15 full grown.
That's what I mean. Like, that's a big fucking baby.
The horses that John Wayne rode in the movies had to have been like 7 hands tall.
I know, because he's tall, but he's not that big. I mean John Wayne was a big guy, but he wasn't like...
But he always, like, his horses I'm like, his feet can touch the fucking...
I know, right? They're, like, tiny.
Like,
it's so weird.
Why do they get these tiny-ass horses? And he's like... Every Western I watched with John, I was like...
Why is this horse so small?
Why is this horse so little?
So he says, I saw NSYNC live when I was younger. I also like Alicia Keys. One of Pink's songs was originally supposed to be Rihanna's. I don't see the big thing about Alanis. I like Kanye before he went nuts.
Kanye, I'm 99% sure I've never heard any of his songs. I quit listening to music around like 2006 and didn't start again ever, basically. I mean, I still hear stuff because it's like on video games or something else. But I don't listen to the radio, and so I honestly have no idea who people are. Oh, wow. Going right after him. He wants that speedball. Anyways. MJF, or not MJF, but MVP, he's like, Hulk Hogan didn't know how to wrestle. It's like, what the fuck does that have to do with the price of tea and Jack? He's still the most popular wrestler of all time. Like, it doesn't matter if you wrestle or not. It's like the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Pico says, freaking this guy getting beaten up by the Hurt Syndicate. Literally a joke. Sophie says, remember the kid that created the whip song all those years ago? He got sentenced to 30 years in prison for killing his cousin.
That Nene? Let me whip. Let me Nene.
Yeah, it's a good thing he made that popular song. It really helped him not get out of jail, huh?
Well, that's silly. I like that song.
I didn't say it wasn't a fun song. I'm just saying you can't go killing your cousin and think that you're going to get out of it because you had a cool song.
That's a cousin. They don't matter.
Sophie says, I only know, I think 1 or 2 Taylor Swift songs in game. Same goes for Ariana. And Robbie says, nah, kind of, he was good in early days. Went to 2 of his concerts. Sophie's like, yeah.
Nice. I'm trying to think who else I liked around that time. I did listen to some country every once in a while, but then it went way too far to the right or left or some direction.
Right.
Now Beyonce is a country singer. It's just
no.
It's just weird.
No.
Didn't she win like awards at the Country Music Awards? I didn't even mind the Gay Cowboy. That shit was pretty good with Billy Ray Cyrus. And I just happened to hear that on like somehow like on a TV show or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then McKenna showed me, and she's like, "That's the #1 song of the country." I'm like, "What's that?" I mean, like, who? It's cool. But I listened to that song quite a few times. But you have to get the one with Billy Ray Cyrus, because if you listen to the other one that doesn't have Billy Ray Cyrus, it's not as good. I'm gonna park my horse at the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. What you reading?
Crap.
Nice. Sounds exciting.
Yeah. Vindicator says, "So are you guys going to stream Grand Slam?"
I don't know what that is.
Is it an AEW thing?
Is it a pay-per-view coming up? If it's an AEW pay-per-view, then no.
Robbie says, "I would rather listen to the toilet flush than Taylor Swift. She bores me to tears."
I will be honest, I liked one of her songs where she beats up a car with a golf club. And that's a newer one. It probably came out in like 18, 19 or something like that. But like Teardrops on My Guitar and Tim McGraw, and there was another one about she wears short skirts, I wear sneakers, she's cheer captain, I'm in the bleachers, something like that. That one's pretty cute too. I don't know why I heard that one, but it's probably when I still listen to music.
That one's Skater Boy, I think. Isn't it?
No, that's different.
Oh, that's the other girl.
Mm-hmm.
Avril Lavigne.
Avril,
That's
yeah.
right.
They're Avril Lavigne. That's another one.
Sophie says, "Every time that Whip Nene song gets played, who knows how much money he gets. He probably gets nothing out of it, actually.
Let me up.
I'm sure that whoever owns it, what's that guy that gave that one guy AIDS that's still around?
His name's Suge Knight.
Yeah, that guy, he probably has all the rights to it. He's like a mobster when it comes to that music and genre and all those kids and stuff.
70%
He's
sure.
a sicko face.
He's in prison.
But he wasn't in prison at that time.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Just kidding, I have no idea.
I know he was hanging out with, what's his name? The crazy little comedian. Cat Williams. They're like friends. Suge Knight. Or they were.
And he's like, "I know what you did." Oh. Pico says, "I like outlaw country, but haven't put it on lately. Ever heard of Sturgill Simpson or Jason Isbell?"
Nope. But I know outlaw country because that's Chris Christopherson and Johnny Cash. And
Robbie says, "Nah, not country music. Although I just can't do it. It's just rap, just in a different way.
It's just country rap.
It's just hip hop, but just different. Same thing." Sophie says, "I like the Billy Ray Cyrus one-hit wonder song.
Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaky heart.
It's just funny to listen to in Spanish."
I just don't think you'd understand.
Pico says, "Obviously, she's talented, but most of her albums were based on breakup songs." And Vindicator's like, "Nah, the Ghostbusters let me out of a dimensional cell for the night." Because Robbie had said Vin's still alive. Sophie said, "Ice Ice Baby" is also a good one-hit wonder song. And Vindicator says, "But yeah, Grand Slam Mexico, I think, will be in place of Dynamite next week."
So I had that CD tape. It was a tape first, and then I bought the CD later.
If it's
And
on Wednesday, we'll
there was
probably do
other
one.
good songs on that album.
Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah, but I mean that one was so good that it didn't really matter.
Sophie says, "Avril Lavigne, that's a name I haven't heard in a while." And Robbie says, "Nah, not for me. You can't dress it up any other way, LOL." And Sophie says, "Does MC Hammer count as a one-hit wonder?"
No.
He had a couple different ones, actually.
Because Too Legit to Quit is just as popular as Can't Touch This. Right? Too legit to quit. Hey, hey, too legit to quit. Hey. And he might even have had another one. Just like Coolio with Gangster's Paradise. That might be a one-hit wonder, although I did think he had another hit. Just think about the ones that never had a hit at all, but are still popular. Like Too Short. Like Too Short's one of my favorite rappers, but I'm pretty sure he's never had a hit. But every one of his songs are awesome. He was literally my favorite rapper. He was the first rapper I ever listened to in my entire life. The first rap song I ever heard was Cuss Words. If you guys don't know what that is, look up Cuss Words by Too Short. It's literally just cuss words. Pretty good, though.
Piccolo says that dumb dude Jelly Roll is on rock radio. Why is there crossover country fools now?
It's money. There's more money.
Because there's no such thing as actual country, dude. It's all like alternative rock music, basically.
It started with Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks ruined country music.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
He didn't mean to.
Oh, he did it on purpose, the
He was just so fucking popular. And his songs hit so close to home with everybody that listened to it. You know, Thunder Rolls, which is about adultery, and then Friends in Low Places, because anybody can, you know, picture their wife cheating on them, and then seeing them at a bar and walking up to them and buying them a drink. And
right.
Anyways, he was so fucking popular that they had to, like, they couldn't, like, do his concerts in these small venues that country music's always done. I mean, even the greatest country singers in the world always went to these small venues. But they couldn't do that with Garth because they would sell out in seconds and no one could go. So they started doing it in stadiums. And he still sold out stadiums in like hours. He would sell out a stadium within an hour. And so he ruined country music because anybody that followed him had to sell out stadiums and no one could, and so they had to go pop with their music because teenage girls run the pop scene and they make their parents buy them tickets. Honestly, what happened. And that's why they had to go pop. So every country song after Garth Brooks is poppy.
So he says Avril Lavigne just came out with a song with Simple Plan. Robbie says, The Loonies, I Got 5 on It is a great one-hit wonder.
I've got 5 on it. I just listened to that song the other day.
Sophie says, I only hear Can't Touch This, is rarely hear the other song he made. I've been watching some All-American Rejects videos sometimes. Didn't Garth Brooks have, like, some stupid alter ego at one point?
Yeah, Gaines. Chris Gaines.
Piccolo says, for a minute I thought Coolio was a straight-up asshole. Because he thought his song was too good to be parodied by Weird Al. Robbie says, is that the dude that's singing of Tomorrow Never Comes?
If tomorrow never... Yes.
Sophie says, country pop crossover is kind of weird and sometimes random. And Piccolo says, I thought Shania Twain was smoking hot.
She still is. For 87-year-old or whatever she is.
She the one that decided to go out in her Depends?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sophie says, Weird Al makes whatever song he parodied a lot better than the original song sometimes.
I love how you worded that. Always. Sometimes.
Sophie said, Weird Al makes whatever song he parodied a lot better than the original song sometimes.
Right, because fat isn't as good as bad. But 9 times out of 10, it really is better. Dude, the one he makes about
White and Nerdy is
White and
hilarious.
Nerdy is by far better.
The drive-through one.
Yeah, the R. Kelly one.
The R. Kelly one, that one. And Gangster's Paradise. That one's pretty fucking good.
I'm trying to remember the remix of that.
It's the Amish Paradise.
No, living in the Amish Paradise. That's right. I couldn't think of that one. I knew he had done it, but I couldn't think of what it was.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Eat it to beat it.
Uh-huh.
Just eat it.
Yeah. Those ones are weird, but a lot of the other ones are pretty good.
You know Michael has a great sense of humor.
Oh, hell yeah. He
He's
was
like,
probably all thought that was just fucking
oh,
great.
You have to.
He's like, oh, totally, dude. You have to make my songs that way.
Can I be in it?
Sophie said my dad had a crush on Shania Twain. And Robbie says Shania Twain, she would bless your bollocks.
Yeah. She was special pretty. Her and Faith Hill, but Faith Hill married that weirdo, and then, although he does have some good songs, I'm just saying,
He's a weirdo.
They're both weirdos.
Piccolo says, yeah, I had to sing Garth Brooks' The Dance for honor choir back in high school.
There you go.
Yes, the R. Kelly one. It's just funny stuff. Relax, jabronis. That shit's hilarious.
What is it like?
The drive-through one?
Yeah, but what do they say when they're at the drive-through? What do you want?
And she looked at me, and I looked at her. She looked at me.
What do you want? Or whatever. I gotta listen to that one again. It's like 7 fucking minutes.
It's a really, really long one. Yeah, after a while you're like, oh my god, does it ever end? It's funny though, but you're just kind of like, oh god.
He called up Kurt Cobain, right? On the phone. And told Kurt Cobain his idea. And he's like, Kurt Cobain was so cool about it.
I imagine he was.
He's like, wait, hold on. What do you... Who is this? He's like, it's Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, yes. Yeah, like, please. That's awesome.
You can parody my song. That's hilarious.
He's like, I did it. He's like, I've arrived.
If Weird Al parodies your song, you know you've made it.
What is this song all about? Can't figure any lyrics out.
What's funny is that people use his song lyrics about that song all the time.
My favorite, though, is the Pearl Jam. When you're listening to Pearl Jam, and I can't remember what song it is, but you can't fucking understand what they say. Mm-hmm. And then people will put the words on it, but it's not the real words. That's what it sounds like, and it makes you even more confused. You're like, what?
Oh no, not his mask.
He took it off! He's stricken bald!
Oh no, he tore his face off.
This is fantastical.
He tore his face off.
I've seen this. Leatherface did this once. Oh, another one. Rip his face off, too.
So he says, I like Weird Al version of Gangsta's Paradise and the Coolio version. And Robbie says, who the F is Faith Hill? Nobody. Sophie says, I saw Good Charlotte did their anthem song with some country star in the concert a month or two ago. I know a lot of artists hate Weird Al's versions of their songs.
Oh, really?
Then why'd they let him do it? You know, he does have to ask for permission to, like, utilize the music.
He could write the song.
He can do whatever with the lyrics, but he has to ask for permission to use the underlying tone or theme or...
Just like Ice Ice Baby.
That he didn't ask.
Yeah, he didn't ask Queen or, what's his name? Bowie. Mm-hmm. David Bowie. And so now, if you look up the credits on Ice Ice Baby, they have David Bowie and Queen as writers of the song because they did the hook.
Yeah.
Under pressure.
Which one is it gonna be? Oh, it's Under Pressure.
I know. It's always Under Pressure.
If it's on a major radio station, yes. If it's on, like,
Pop?
No, like XM radio or something like that, depending on the station, it's a good possibility it could be Ice Ice Baby.
I know, when I listen to the radio in here, it is Ice Ice Baby.
So, just depends, but yeah.
I was listening to, I told her to play me 90s gangster rap, and she's like, remembering the 90s or something. I'm like, no, I want some gangster rap. And she's like, 90s hip hop. It's like, it's not called hip hop, it's called gangster rap. I don't want hip hop, I want gangster rap. If they ain't killing somebody in the song, I don't want to hear it.
Piccolo says, it's Yellow Ledbetter, one of the most karaoke Pearl Jam songs back in my day. It's hilarious. No one ever gets the lyrics right.
Oh my lord.
Yes. Nobody does, actually. And I'm curious to know if the lyrics that are on, like, the internet that says what they are actually real.
I don't know. That dude just says whatever. It's funny shit.
It's like, what the fuck is he saying? I don't know.
So a buddy of mine was going to prison, and he was out on his own recognizance or whatever. So we went to his 21st birthday, and we got hammered drunk. And we were at the bar. It was called the First National Bar. I would never go to this bar normally, but they have karaoke. And we got drunk enough that we decided to do karaoke. And he is a huge Guns N' Roses fan. And I know a little about Guns N' Roses, but not a lot about Guns N' Roses. So they're before my time, right? Like, they were, what's that? Terminator 2. Anyways, so I get up there and we're going to do Paradise City. And I'm like, oh, I've heard that. Take me down to the Paradise. I can do that, right? So I get there and we start, and he's all doing his Axl Rose dancing. He does this thing with his feet and he's all sliding across the stages. It was cool. But we're hammered drunk. And that song started and I'm all down, you know, and the whole crowd's into it like that. And it's a stage. The First National was like a stage in the back, and then so you're in front of everybody in the whole bar.
Yeah.
And then it starts. I didn't realize that it was so fast. I'm not the greatest reader of all time. There's no fucking way I'm going to read this across the screen, you know, when it takes off, that song finally
right.
comes off. I'm like, First Nash, First Nash. I just started chanting, and the whole bar's just going, First Nash, First Nash. Oh, shit. I didn't know the words. I didn't know the words. We got a ride home from the cops. He was on his own recognizance. But we walked across the street, and he puked in one. Okay, so they have these planter boxes in the middle of the city with trees coming out of them.
Yeah.
And he just pukes in one. And a cop's standing like 7 feet from us.
Oh no, he's getting beat up after he was kidnapped. They should put him on a train track.
Oh my god. And then he'd get saved by
a damsel.
What was that?
A speaker?
Did he hit him in the leg softly?
Yeah, but softly. Like, Alec. But...
It's like, well, prison's starting early for you, buddy. I started talking to the cop. I was like, it's his 21st birthday. And he's like, oh, I've been there. It's like, hey. He's like, where are you going? And I was like, well, over on DeHaze. And he's like, just get in the car. I'll give you a ride over there. That way you guys don't get disturbing the peace on the way over.
Oops.
Like, will do.
Sophie had said it would be funny if Weird Al does parody for artists of this generation. And Sophie says the original cast of Hamilton performed at the Tony Awards this past Sunday to celebrate their 10-year anniversary. Ravi says it happens a lot in dance music using samples of songs, but they just either realize it under another alias or no name as a white label. Piccolo says I use Spotify, but YouTube Music is my main source of streaming music. Sophie says, imagine Weird Al doing a parody of a Taylor Swift song. I use Pandora and YouTube for my music knowledge. And Ravi says gangster rap is still hip-hop. Spoken like a true person that's never really been a gangster rap fan.
It wasn't at the time. They came up with hip-hop later. And gangster rap was its own genre. And then they didn't like it being called that because it was racist or something, even though there was white people in the gangster rap scene. Anyways, and so they just lumped all black music together, you know? It's like, why would you do that? It's not.
They don't deserve to have their own genre of stuff.
Well,
of different genres
right,
within their own music.
It's all like R&B and hip hop. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
So you're black? Oh, it's R&B. It's like, wait, can it just be rock? Oh, no. No. It's got to be R&B.
Sophie says, I feel like Taylor Swift will cry if Weird Al does a parody of one of her songs. Robbie says, late 80s Guns N' Roses. Sophie said, karaoke is always kind of weird. And Picola says, Guns N' Roses were sick. I still remember they had a backstage brawl with Motley Crue on tour back in 92. Robbie says, Weird Al, he did like a surgeon instead of like a virgin. A surgeon?
Like a surgeon.
I
remember that.
Sophie says the draft is rumored to be taking place sometime after SummerSlam, and Picola says last time I sang karaoke I had a standing O. It was Shaggy. Shorty, you're my angel.
Oh, hell yeah, that's a good one. I always just did Baby Got Back. That was my go-to. Every time.
Sophie says, was LL Cool J a rapper or a hip-hop artist? I was too young when he was doing music.
So, LL Cool J was before the gangster rap scene. And so it was just called rap. So he did rap. I know we want to all call it hip-hop, but we got to call it what it was at the time. Not what we end up calling everything now. Because we just label it all with the big hip-hop.
Picola says, I was watching clips of old gangster movies the other week. Nice. Ravi says, yes, Travis, gangster rap has always been a part of hip-hop.
Right. The hip-hop culture now is what we're calling it. So we have to label everything under the same brush.
Well, isn't that pathetic? Maybe you guys should not do that. Maybe then you'd have a more diverse amount of music happening. Sophie says Miley Cyrus said she could perform her Hannah Montana songs now that she is a Disney icon.
I don't know why she'd want to, but the only song she's good at is that, the Climb. That shit's pretty good. You ever heard that one?
What is it?
The Climb.
By
Miley Cyrus. Oh, or that one that
I don't think so.
I hopped off the plane at LAX.
I think I've only heard it in that movie.
I've never heard the real song. I've only heard it in Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, that's it for me too. Sophie says, I know Will Smith and LL Cool J kind of started in the music game at the same time. I mean, maybe when McKenna was really listening to music, it might have been something that popped up on the radio, like the station, the new music station stuff, but
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so LL Cool J's older. He did stuff in the 80s with like Rum DMC and Queen Latifah and Grandmaster Flex, and I'm trying to remember all the 80s guys. I'm never going to know them all, but those guys.
Hey, it's Megan Payne and stuff against those people up next.
But
it's a ladies match.
Will Smith,
yes. Can go out on
he came
match.
out with his own stuff that was not necessarily rap. It was more, I don't know what you would call it, singing rap. What's that called? Like Nelly does it, singing rap. Maybe that would be considered hip hop. But Parents Just Don't Understand was a fucking classic.
It's funny. Picola says, or Ravi said, D speed reading the chat faster than Usain Bolt, and Picola says he was bad, taking a muscle head and kicking sand in his face, lol. Sophie says Will Smith, LL Cool J, and Ice-T are more known as actors than artists now. Robbie says LL Cool J was always hip-hop. Hip-hop was always the overall name for rap music. Play again.
They literally had Yo MTV raps.
I'm going to give you a big fat negative on that, Robbie. Sorry, buddy.
They didn't have Yo MTV
hip-hop.
Hip-hop. That's what I'm getting at. Like, it was called something for a reason. Yo MTV rap.
Picola says one time in like a stupid Coyote Ugly bar, I knew I was getting too old for clubs when the DJ played Miley Cyrus and the crowd knew every single word.
It's like I'm going to bed.
Vindicator says, so, looks like the women are the main attraction tonight since they will dominate for the second half with all of their matches and segments.
Nice.
Robbie says Will Smith was pop. Sophie says Will Smith didn't know Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was going to be a big hit.
No, and then he remade it into like just stupid. I don't understand it. Like, it was such a classic and they could have done so much more with it. But they decided to make it serious, this remake thing. It's not going to work.
I don't know anybody who watches it.
Dude, I watched almost. I'm pretty sure I've seen every episode of that show. That's one of my favorites when I was a kid. Nothing better. They changed the mom after the first season, though. Kind of weird, but.
Mom of what?
Carlton and I can't remember the girl. His aunt.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same lady?
Mm-mm.
That's weird.
I'm pretty sure it's a different lady.
Are you sure?
Like people just didn't notice. Am I sure? No. If you want to gaslight me. Mark it down. I used the word. Fresh. Prince. Belle.
Piccolo says, yeah, the Grammys gave DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince the first rap album award. Sophie says Will Smith was filming a season of Fresh Prince and Independence Day at the same time for months.
Really?
Robbie's still on the bandwagon that he still thinks that hip-hop is the overall genre for what rap music. Incorrect.
I mean, he could be right.
I don't
we
think
just
so.
didn't call it that. It wasn't what you used. You used rap. Nice rack, Bane.
Well...
Oh, wait, no, that's Penelope. Anyways, nice rack, Penelope.
I'm going to say that I'm pretty sure that rap didn't start in the UK. I'm just going to go off on a limb and say that it probably happened in America, not the UK. So if somebody in the UK is telling me something about a genre of music that happened in the United States, they can go fuck off. It may be considered that now because of what they've done. But back in those days, no way.
They changed her in season 4. Janet Hubb, who played Aunt Vivian, was replaced by Daphne Maxwell Reed.
Daphne
at the beginning of season 4. I thought it was at the season 1. Penelope, why are you wearing weird shit on your head? There she is, Tay Mello, but she's got brown hair this time. Do you remember her when she was in NXT?
Her?
Mm-hmm.
No. I don't have any idea. Nope. Don't watch it enough to remember anybody from it. Pickle's like, did Will Smith produce this reboot version?
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. He's part of it. Like, he's an executive producer or something.
Sophie says Will Smith became a great actor after his work on Fresh Prince, and Robbie says the program may have been called Yo MTV Raps, but it was still hip-hop. It was a hip-hop show. Robbie, stop talking out of your butthole. Sophie says, yeah, he did produce the reboot version of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and now I know why it sucks. But Piccolo says, I will say my worst offense is being a new metal fan. Sorry, it did it all for the nookie. Sophie says Will Smith also produced Cobra Kai. Robbie's like, Tim Westwood had the Radio 1 rap show in the UK, but the music was always hip-hop. Robbie's like, I know music. Must not know it enough. Sophie says, well, the UK is like years behind America. No, Sophie, that's not it. Piccolo says, for 5 seconds, I was like, Sheeta made a comeback. Oh, never mind, it's Ty. Or Tay. Sophie says, I also like Martin. At least we get Asuka back next Monday with her facing Stephanie, Ivy, and Raquel.
Isn't that crazy that in the men's, there's a
Question
shadow? Mark? Yeah, who's it going to be? But for Asuka, they didn't do that.
They just gave her a little promo and said,
bitch,
she's here!
The bitch is coming back. It could have been a huge return. Like, the crowd went crazy. And they're like, bitch will be back next week.
Pico's like, I was about to say that, Travis. She was part of the Mae Young tournament back in NXT.
Mm-hmm. Didn't she win it? Maybe not. I can't remember who won it. Okay, so here is what I got.
Okay.
The term rap and hip hop were both used in the 80s and 90s, but they referred to different things. Rap referred to specifics to the music style, rhythmic spoken lyrics over beats. In 1980s and 90s, people often said rap music when referring to songs from artists like Rum DMC, NWA, and Tupac. Example, I like rap. I like rap music. Hip-hop refers to a whole culture, not just music. It includes DJing, MCing, breakdancing, graffiti art. It's a cultural thing, but it's not rap.
Boo! Sorry, Robbie. You lose.
But hip-hop culture
Is a thing.
Rap could be in hip-hop culture.
Yes, but it is not.
It's not
hip-hop.
Hip-hop.
Rap is rap, motherfucker. Rap is rap. Hip-hop is a thing, yes, but not all hip-hop is rap. And rap isn't always hip-hop. Or whatever they want to now, because they use hip-hop as a genre of music now. And it's weird to me. It's like it's not a genre of music. It's a thing.
Right.
It's a thing. It irritates me to no end. But, yes, rap was the music. So, yeah, you don't know music, apparently. Because if you did, you would know.
So by the end of the 90s, they started referring to it as hip-hop because hip-hop was the culture.
Yep.
But all through the 80s and through the mid-90s, it was called rap music.
Yes. Because it was an actual genre of music.
Right. So by like 1997, I'm into hip-hop, the whole scene, not just music.
Yes.
In 1984, this new rap song is dope. Like, this is rap. They're rapping.
Yes.
I know rapping means is talking.
Yes.
Let's rap.
Yep.
Let's talk this out.
Yep. Exactly.
But hip hop.
So you're incorrect in your statement saying that the music was always hip hop. It wasn't.
Well,
it was rap music.
The culture is hip hop. So in that aspect,
culture fine. But not the music.
So rap's in the hip hop culture.
Yes.
But it's still called rap. If that's what he's trying to say, but it's hard to do over text.
He's trying to say, well, rap music from the 1880s is still considered hip hop. It isn't though.
Well, it's considered hip hop.
It's in the culture of hip hop, but it's its own fucking genre of music. That's the point we're trying to make, dude. And if you know so much about music, you need to reevaluate what you consider genres of music. Genres of music.
Right. But now you can say it's hip hop because they started calling it that.
I know, they're retarded.
Well, it was to get it out of...
Because they wanted it to be...
They didn't want separation. They wanted it all to be black music.
Yeah. Exactly. So instead of having genres within their culture, they decided that we didn't want that. We wanted to lump it all together.
Right.
So that it's this.
So my question is the music that CM Punk comes out to, is that hip hop?
I don't know.
Because
is it his song?
Yeah. His entrance song.
Who sings it?
I can't remember their name, but they're black, but it's rock.
personality, you know, that is totally rock. That is not rap or hip
I
hop.
can't remember what they're called. But
That's a rock. That's totally a
it should
different
be
genre.
rock, right? But are they calling it hip hop because they happen to have darker skin?
No.
Right.
They can't, they're not, that would be weird. It's still rock music. It's still that genre of music.
I agree.
That's weird.
I'm just making sure that, you know, we're not just going by color of skin.
I would hope not. That's weird.
Vanilla Ice, was he a hip hop artist?
No.
He's a rapper.
Yes.
I mean, I'd call him a rapper.
Yes. Just like Eminem wasn't a hip hop artist, he was a rap artist. He was a rapper.
We'd have to be.
You think?
Because he wouldn't be classified as a hip hop. Because the color of his skin. If we're just going by colors of skin, it's weird. I don't like doing that. Such a
well, I don't either.
It's such a 2020 thing to do.
I look at the type of music it is, the genre of music, the type of music.
Right.
It has nothing to do with anything but that. Right. That's it.
Right.
If you really know or appreciate music, you'll want to know what genre it's in, because not everything should be labeled one thing, and it's completely different music. You can't say that this type of music is hip hop and then you have this type of music is hip hop. Right. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, and the other part that I don't like about it is rap music and gangster rap music are two different things. Because you can't say that Vanilla Ice and NWA
is gangster rap
and NWA are the same fucking thing.
No. It's
or
different.
Ice-T, Cop
It would
Killer.
Be different types of rap within the rap genre.
Right, and gangster is one of the words that we use.
That's how I look at it. That's how, as knowing music and been playing music since I was fucking 3 years old. Yeah. And it is fine, Ravi. If you want to blanket categorize all of your music liking under hip-hop, that's your choice. But I'm going to say, and I'm still going to go with my opinion, that you do not know music. Well, you don't know music if you want to generalize everything under hip-hop. And I mean everything, every single thing. Then you need to categorize all your rock music under there and everything else, because everything now needs to be under hip-hop. Because a lot of that hip-hop sounds like alternative rock. So fuck off with your shit. If you are not going to even remotely have the distinction of what things sound like, because these DJ artists put everything together in this lump of stupid shit, and it sounds like garbage half the time because it's this, and this that they're mixing all together because it's a dance thing, then you can't have it, because you're going to have your genre, which is DJing, which is under hip-hop culture. So it's fine, but it's not the type of music it is. Don't care. It is not an appreciation for the actual fucking genre of the music.
Right. But
you're appreciating a fucking culture.
But now with the politically correctness, it is just hip-hop. So he's right to lump it all together now, because that's what society did. It's done. Like even Voldemort says it. Irritating. But it's true. It's what they did. What is she trying to do?
It doesn't... I don't care. If you appreciate music in any way, you appreciate it for the genres it is. And the genres are distinctions. Just like in fucking movies.
Tay just be
same shit.
Penelope.
Same shit. Bane. Well, you knew that they would probably have Tay and them lose or win.
Bane is a lot of woman.
She is. She's very much a lot of woman. What do they have next? That didn't last as long as I hoped it would.
All I know is the game is tied.
That's weird.
That's all I know. Hey, that was a mid-range shot. I love seeing that.
Ooh.
See,
then poked her eye out.
Then just throw up a 3, and he hit it. Hey, it's halitosis.
Yeah, halitosis.
Why is he throwing up gang signs? He should be kicked out. He was throwing up gang signs.
Piccolo had said earlier, that part Robbie had said, Sophie stick to the Backstreet Boys. Piccolo said, yeah, that was a fumble by ya boy Trips. Sophie says, with the question mark on Monday, a lot of people thinking it could be Karen or Ilya or Oba or Travis's other fave, Ricky Stain. Sophie says, funny, they spoiled Asuka's return before they showed the video package 2 hours later. Piccolo says, yeah, hip-hop does freestyle graffiti and clothing and the rap. And Sophie says, this sounds like is he Die Hard a Christmas movie debate that people fight over it for years with this hip-hop fight. Robbie says, yes, rap music from the 1980s can hip-hop. And Sophie said hip-hop, rap aren't the same type of music. Piccolo says rap songs became hip-hop songs only because that's more marketable.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. But it's that's the point. But it's still separate. It is not the same type of music. It sounds completely different from each other.
When I'm talking to my Voldemort,
I know what she does, and I get why they did it because they're retarded.
And she doesn't let me have it.
I know. I understand what society has done, but as somebody who appreciates music, you always know that there's a distinction. There's a huge distinction between the sounds of that music.
How did Oklahoma City get 1 point of free throw?
Oh,
it was tied at 55. Now they're 56 and the other team's 58.
I don't know, sweetie. Maybe they gave them a weird free throw foul point. I don't fucking know. I don't know anything about this stupid game. And I haven't been watching it at all.
They should have just let him go. He would have missed anyway. I honestly thought Oklahoma City was going to sweep them.
Well, I guess they're on an off night.
They've already lost one game, and now they're down this game.
I was like, I know music, it's you getting confused. Whatever, dude. Sophie says there was a lot. Also, what Crunk, that Sorry, and Missy Elliott were part of. Robbie says, but it is D always hip-hop. Robbie also says, yeah, it is D, but you can think what you want. And Piccolo's like, right, radio, airplay, Billboard charts. They lumped the two genres into urban or African-American. And Sophie says, rap or hip-hop artists have been going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the past few years. And Piccolo says, and I still am a neo-soul fan. And some of the songs have an R&B artist with a rapper freestyle. Robbie says, so going back to gangster rap, it's still hip-hop. Run DMC, they were ones that started rap rock. Piccolo's like, for example, Erykah Badu, Love of My Life, and Common has bars in a verse. Yes. So he says some artists do go in a lot of genres to see what works, like Beyonce is a country artist now. And Robbie says, Eminem, he did hip-hop. Yes, he raps but does hip-hop. He even said he does. Well, we all know that Eminem's a sellout to his own stupidity anyways.
He is funny
but
because he just admitted that he takes black music and profits like Elvis in one of his songs.
Yeah, basically.
Elvis took black music and made it popular and became rich.
Yep.
And so did Eminem.
Yep. Sophie says, Dio's right. I hate to say that. Oh, no, not me being right about something. Piccolo says, oh, looks like Death by Snoo Snoo is dominant. So it says, where do you lump Outcasts and the whole stupid hip-hop rap fight Dee and Ravi have been in the whole night? Wasn't the whole night, just the last 10 minutes.
Probably hip-hop would be mine.
Piccolo says, what game? Oh, Sophie bring up Southern hip-hop. And Vindicator says, T and Anna getting that win was nice, but question now is, which one goes after the quitter for the TBS title?
Tay.
Yeah, they'll probably throw her at her. Robbie says Outlast is still hip-hop. Sophie says Warner Brothers Discovery are going to be split into 2 companies next year. I don't know how that affects A&E and AEW and all other sports.
What about the Harry Potter stuff?
What do you mean, the Harry Potter stuff?
What if they split up?
That's HBO Max. Warner Brothers and Discovery.
Is that not
No.
HBO?
No. Not that I know of. Warner Brothers and Discovery are separate. We're separate all the time from HBO.
Oh. Do they have a streaming service? Is it Paramount? I don't know my shit.
Robbie says gangster rap is the hip hop Throw was bringing out. What the fuck? Sophie says opera and country are two types of music I would never listen to. Pico says, man, you know what it's all about, Travis. Money. More games. Right? Robbie's like, Sophie, it's not a fight, just a little debate. And Sophie says Eminem is also a grandpa. His daughter gave birth to a kid not that long ago. Well, at least it wasn't an alien.
Haley. Da-da. I don't even know what Haley looks like. Last time I remember Haley was a voice on his album.
When she was like, what, 4?
Yeah, when he was trying to kill the wife.
Yeah.
Kim all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. It's going to be halftime. Made it. Mid-range shot. I love seeing it. It's the second mid-range shot I've seen. That's another one. That's awesome. No, white kid out there. He must be a DEI hire.
Probably.
Oh.
I'm surprised they allowed it.
To be a DEI? You have to.
Oh, I'm surprised they allowed it to be that one of certain color. Just surprised that it's a white person.
Have you never seen... what's that shit called? Undercover Brother?
What is it?
Undercover Brother.
Oh.
That Neil Patrick Harris is in it.
Okay.
In the underground.
Oh.
And he comes walking, they're like, what the fuck? It's affirmative action, man. Happens to us all.
Sophie says they just announced Warner Bros. Discovery split yesterday. Not that many details about it. Sophie says I like Eminem, and Robbie says Sophie, if you're bored, you don't need to stay. Sophie says a YouTuber died in Vegas thanks to another YouTuber.
Oh, really?
Not the YouTubers killing each other.
What do you mean, thanks to?
Stab.
Oh, trying to pierce my ear.
Just a YouTuber killing another YouTuber.
It's awesome. I don't even refer to myself as a YouTuber.
I don't either.
And then I just got killed for it.
People's like, damn Rainmaker and Omega and Big D, Dallas, Texas.
Well, who killed who, and why did it happen?
Yeah, what
I
they do.
want to know all about this drama. YouTubers killing YouTubers.
Aww.
Dead things.
No.
I don't like dead things. Kind of dead thing.
No, it's just a poor possum that he doesn't have any hair. Look at the poor guy. He's got something wrong with him. Oh, poor thing.
Got the old mange.
Mm-hmm. Sad. Poor thing.
Did they do it for hits or likes or whatever? Clicks?
Yes, that's why they did it. That's why. It's totally just so they can get... They even put it on their YouTube channels.
It was probably live on YouTube.
Sophie says Dua Lipa is rumored to have gotten an offer to perform at the 26 halftime show. Sophie also says it happened in Las Vegas. I just saw something about it on Twitter one night.
Here's the factual update based on credible reporting. A tragic incident occurred on June 8th, 2025, near the Bellagio fountains on the Las Vegas Strip, involving YouTuber Rodney Finley, who went by Finny the Legend, and his wife Tanisha, known as Bubbly. While live streaming publicly, they were allegedly shot and killed by fellow content creator Manuel Sin City Manny Wise, sites So Turn News 14, Turn News 60, and Turn News 19. What we know: victims Rodney Finley, Finny Da Legend, age 44, and his wife Tanisha, Bubbly, age 43, were killed during a live stream near the Bellagio around 10:30 p.m. Site Turn News 16, Turn News 88, Turn News 19. Suspect Manuel Ruiz. Sin City Manny Wise, age 41, a fellow YouTuber and streamer, is facing 2 murder charges. He has turned himself in and is being held without bail. Site Turn News 12, Turn Search 5, Turn News 19. Feud background. The shooting allegedly stems from a long-running online rivalry dating back to 2023. Reportedly involving copyright strike disputes, and even a previous incident where Ruiz pepper sprayed Tanisha, citing Turn News 14, Turn News 18, tag Turn Search 5 Turn News 19.
I love that they just throw in
Claim of self-defense.
Random shit.
Ruiz claims
They're like,
he
here's all
believed
the other
Finley
information,
was
just
reaching
so you
for a
know.
gun and saw a shiny black object in Tanisha's hand, asserting he acted in self-defense. Site Turn Search, Turn
So I was
Search
like, for
7,
this
Turn
Evolution
News
pay-per-view
12.
on a Sunday,
However,
AEW
police
has
have not
been dull
confirmed that
again.
the victims were armed.
They aren't even having
Evidence.
a match.
The incident was reportedly captured on Finley's live stream and surveillance video, and a body cam video later showed Ruiz turning himself into police the next morning. Site Turn 60, Turn Search 6, Turn Search 7. Why it's significant. This is an extremely rare and horrifying instance of an online creator feud spilling into lethal real-world violence. The live stream aspect and public location, Las Vegas Strip, amplify the tragedy's impact, sparking intense media coverage and public concern over influencer culture turning dangerous. If you'd like, I can help dig deeper, whether it's more on the legal proceedings, background on the individuals involved,
I
reactions from
don't
the
think it
creator.
has anything to do with the content creator, right?
I thought that they had a feud going on.
Right.
They had a feud going on with each other for a while. And something escalated or something?
Yeah, but they're calling it influence or culture that caused it.
Oh my god, they just can't help themselves. Fucking stupid. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this person didn't like that person. They saw him in real life and decided to do something about it in a stupid way.
Because they're influencers.
Because they're morons.
With the culture of influence.
Yeah, that's it. Somebody said I never heard of these YouTubers before this week, and Ravi says I don't follow YouTubers to care enough. No. Vindicator says gonna get some Buffalo Wild Wings later because it's all you can eat and I don't have to stop. That's good. It's probably a good idea. I mean, come on, you don't even have to stop. Like, what are they gonna do? Kick you out?
Just bring your own gurney.
Do you take a nap and then get back to it? Do you go throw up in the bathroom and come back and eat some more? I don't know.
When in Rome.
Robbie says Vin gonna be in a food coma. And Picola's like, nah, just gonna see it reenacted on SVU next season. Right, Picola? You even know what the fuck's happening.
She had something shiny and black in her hand, so he shot them both. Lies. That's some funny shit. Oh. That white guy's a thief. Damn. He's an angry thief.
Hmm?
So you okay? Or...
Yeah, I'm fine.
Anyways, we got a contract signing and then we're gonna take off.
Oh yeah. Ugh. That's what's happening. Are they actually gonna sign it? Is he actually gonna really sign it? Oh, he has to talk first. Ugh. Barf.
He's Omega of Kenny.
Vindicator's like, what dreams are made of? Buffalo Wild Wings, eating, all you can eat. I guess, man.
7 ears of corn.
Why are they talking about corn?
7 ears of corn. He said 7 years, but 7 ears sounds better.
Corn. It has the juice.
Is it swollen?
It's always been like that.
The other one that way?
No.
Yeah.
Just
swollen.
outside. It's always been like that. It's not swollen. Can't
It's a
do anything
muscle.
about it.
It's not. Because my calf's been swollen for fucking 5 years.
Maybe you should tell your doctor about it.
I did.
What'd she say?
Nothing they can do.
Why not?
Well, I can have surgery.
What?
Oh, there's a handshake.
Oh, look, the gayness. Oh, good for them and their weird shit. They're gonna kiss. They're so gonna kiss each other.
It's been 7 years since they
They're
had porn.
gonna kiss. They're gonna kiss.
Uh-oh. It's Don Palace.
I guess he needs to come out and talk to him about it.
Make sure everything's going right.
Oh no, not the history. Oh good, he's got important stuff to say. Good Lord.
Do you think that's a...
Why is your shit so loud?
I told you so I wouldn't lose my phone. I was working downstairs.
Somebody needs to be quiet because he's got important stuff to say. Feels like Vin getting cut off after plate. After how many plates, though? How many plates is he going to have? What is the all-you-can-eat, though? Is it all-you-can-eat wings? All-you-can-eat fries? What is the all-you-can-eat stuff? I wasn't paying attention, so I have no idea.
Okada probably going to beat him up.
People's like, it's everything, right? I don't know. I don't eat Buffalo Wild Wings, so I don't know.
There you go. I saw that
Oh! Not that guy beating him up.
Yeah.
Oh, he lost his watch or something. Oh, bummer. Not his gold.
Hit him in the guts. Most people say in the nuts, but his guts are worse than his nuts.
Oh, goody.
Oh,
A
no.
bully stick.
You have one of those.
Pickles like maybe 8 wings or 6 tenders per plate. Ooh, that's a lot of plates. I mean, a lot of stuff on a plate.
10 plates. Do
I don't know. Would they put 8 wings on there? I bet you anything it's like 6.
Right in the guts.
6 wings and 3 tenders. I know when you go places and they're like, oh, you can eat shrimp. They give you tiny plates
Yeah, but they're full.
of the shrimp.
I'm like, bring 2 or 3 at a time.
They're like this big.
That's what I would always tell them.
There's like 6 shrimp.
I was like, I need 3 plates at a time.
Oh no, he's having a seizure. Just kidding, I have no idea. It's 8:01, we're leaving. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it for this Wednesday Night Dynamite. If you're a big fan of AEW, they are going to have,
2 more hours. Collision.
2 more hours of Collision on after this. But we're leaving. We'll be back on a Friday for SmackDown. You guys have a great rest of your evening.